I should use ChatGPT instead of Google. I do use ChatGPT a lot. But yes, I was searching for something in particular. H6, I understand, keeps away in HG5. What happens if I take queen D5? Take. I don't know. What if I do this and just, like, give my bishop? Like, I don't know. You give that up? I feel like that seems vaguely familiar. Now, if you're in 85, that queen is hanging. Boom. Now it's hanging. H6 was... I understand you wanted to be white H5. Like, in this position, if you just go knight F6, H5 comes, F7 hangs. Matt Bader donated. $10. Thank you so much. Love the games, but also your instructive breakdowns. And also check your inbox. Will do. Thank you so much. Take. King F6. I guess that's where you had to go. If you went to E8, I was going to go like boom, and then boom. If you went to here, I could just take the rook, for instance. King F6. Okay, well, I would love to go like check, king takes, and knight F7, queen. But there's a pawn here. That's another pattern I like. What if I just like take, check, king X6, check, king E7, check, king E8, that's mate. So knight C3, take, here, queen D5, king X6, queen F5, king E7, knight D5, king D6, bishop F4, king D6, but that's definitely good enough. So I'll just go to C3, right? Here's the line I was talking about. Takes, check, here, check. It's king E8, queen G6 is actually mate back home. C6 was forced to keep knight D5 off the table. Did I miss... How is that rook home? Because, like, check, for instance, takes... What get you from there? You'd be like... Crazy. We have a set. We actually get you, because, like, check here... Bishop F4, king E7. It's just starting to run back home, right? So check here. Check here. Check here. We have 7. That's an interesting idea. I don't know. It's working. Alright, how have I not put the gambit glasses on, by the way? I've just sacrificed another piece so the king's on E5. I think C6, yeah, they did everything right here. King F6 and C6, both correct. Okay, bishop F4 is not mate because my queen's not defending. But, we can give that up. Do I play G3? Oh, okay, what's happening if I play G3? Bishop F4. Okay, here. I don't have much time, just 9 seconds. Six big castles. Rule 2 4. 4 3 over. This isn't not way makes 2-2. Oh, we did get him. Pawn takes E5. Best move was queen E7, which is already like a little desperate to do. I guess we're getting E4. Okay, takes E5, bishop F7, king F7. I think this is a thing. Well, yeah, see here. So this is what I did, and it was actually correct. Pawn takes E5, most common move. Bishop F7 is the third most common move, but the best move. Okay. King F7. So everything here is correct. King F7. We still got 2,600 games in the database here. My opponent plays King F6, which is the best move. So knight takes E5 is actually not far off, just underscoring how bad Watt's position is here. So we've got queen and 2 pawns for 2 pieces, which should be good. Their problem is King E8. Yeah, H6 is not a good move. Because Queen H5, they don't even have G6 in this position to hang on for a moment. They will instead get mated here, right? Just dancing around on those squares. King E7, I think at minimum, right? We just take that rough commit, and yeah, that is what we do. So King E6 is also not fun because of here, so that is pretty much all the options. King F6 for that reason is the best. Okay, wow, guys. William's actually pretty smart here. Let's. You can see this. Good. at that. Look at that. So plus 3.2 on knight c3, plus 3.2 on knight c3. The next best move is plus 0.4, and the next best move after that is minus 0.7. So huge find here, knight c3. So okay, our knight's kind of hanging. Like at a certain point, you need some pieces to checkmate the king, right? And it's not obvious what you do here. Bishop f4 seems very natural. Seems very, very natural here. We're pinning this, so like we defend our knight and we bring out another piece. However, they have a really nice defensive resource here. It's queen e8. Again, not obvious what you're doing with this knight. Queen takes e4 is actually more bothersome than you think. Hitting the bishop, the king, and also g2. So let's say you give this check, right? This is just if you make most natural moves. This king will run to h7. Let's say now you guard e4, king h7, right? So it just means some pretty natural moves developing. But now they just kind of have a piece for 2 pawns, right? They were able to dislodge this knight and run into that little pocket. So we got to actually really keep the pressure on, and knight c3 is the only move that makes it such that the knight can stay here, giving a big threat, and such that king takes e5, right? Remember, they can never go knight takes e5. King takes e5 is going to lose. So queen d5 check, king f6 is what I was calculating during the game. King f6, so it's not there. King f6 is the only square. Okay, check, king e7, knight d5. And yeah, king e8, this is checkmate. So that was the nice little checkmate that we had to see during the game. They can run all the way. Here, they actually ran all the way back home just to get mated, which is pretty funny. The other pieces are just really not doing great. So king d6 is the only other move. But then I was just like looking at this position. I mean, the vibes here are pretty good. I mean, just here, we can just, you can even collect on c7. We can castle. I know it's 2 pieces down, but, you know, things aren't so bad. I was just like, yeah, we're just going off of vibes. Okay, so knight c3, which was the best move. We're down, though. Now it's to 190 games in the database. c6 here, I think, was a good move, because knight d5 is absolutely what I want to do. If you do nothing, yeah, knight d5, and then bishop f4, and I think we're going to get you. I think you're going to run out of spots here, like check and like mate. So there's like mates all over the board, right? This is kind of the idea. Once we're bringing in that knight on d5, because the knight on d5 is covering the dark squares, and then the queen, she can dance around and cover the light squares, so, and then the bishop as well. So the combo of all these pieces should be really, really good. And again, c6 takes away knight d5, good move. My only good move here, queen f3 is the most common move. Only good move was actually queen d4, which makes a lot of sense in retrospect. Keeps the pin here, no knight takes e5, no king takes e5, of course, and it puts a lot of threats on the table with any knight move hitting that king. In the game, I play queen f3, which is actually the first mistake of the game, and swings the eval wildly from plus 3.6 to minus 1, over minus 1. And my opponent does the right thing, which is king takes e5, right? I mean, you have to. Like it's not about being greedy or not. Like, the knight's just too good here. Like, queen f7, knight g6, like, you can't just leave that all on the table. You gotta eat. You gotta eat. So here, weird situation. I'm realizing now that, like, check king d6, bishop f4, this isn't really what I wanted. The king's actually running away. It's either going to run away that way or to c7. So c6 was a good move for that reason as well, because it gives you another route home potentially. I mean, apparently it's still okay because there's some other mate threats here and some more crazy lines. And the game queen f7, which is, I think, the most interesting move. Because it sets up checkmate, right? Bishop f4. My queen is now guarding the e6 square. It sets up bishop f4 really nicely. King a6 is not a good move here, right? Bishop f4, you don't have knight e5 because I will win your queen or I actually have checkmate here. In style. So queen f7, nice move. And yeah, it sets up bishop f4, and you cannot blame my opponent for this next move, which is knight f6, which was actually not a bad move. Maybe for whatever reason, g5 is much better. Because knight f6, apparently what I was supposed to do is bishop f4 anyway. Take, check. They go back now here, and now f4 comes. And now if g5, we go f4 anyway. Then we'll track him down somehow. Like, check and check. Yeah, like, check and rook f5. We can mate him over here, using all of our pieces. So I was supposed to just go bishop f4 anyway, leaving the bishop. Okay, I played g3 first, trying to set up my pretty checkmate. They said no, right? So my opponent's playing very reasonably. Knight f6, just to cut off bishop f4, and then g5, again, to cut off bishop f4. It's very important. And I'm like, what else do I do here? I gotta, like, get stuff going. In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm going to be my third piece down, right? We gave the first bishop on f7. We left that knight hanging on e5, and now we gave up that bishop on f4. The only one we haven't sacrificed is this guy. So we're down 3 pieces after takes. Pawn takes f4. Then apparently here, they should have come back king d6, which I guess makes sense, because now without the bishop, they have a route on to c7. Okay, but can't blame them. King takes f4. They're munching. I'm castling here. at this point, because I'm like, okay, I do have another checkmating idea, which is I've opened some stuff up and I want knight e2 and f4. So we're back to equality now, although, you know, it's so hard to play as accurately. Queen e8 was the best move for the record here. No, it wasn't. The engine changed its own mind. Knight e2, and apparently white's winning. So, engine can't make up its mind either. But queen e7, proposing the queen trade, was apparently much worse than queen e8, because, so knight e2 check, and now we have checkmate. Now we have checkmate, actually. The point is, yeah, it's actually forced mate from here. Crazy, crazy, crazy lines. For instance, king takes e4, queen g6, king e5. Check here, check here, check here, check here, check here, check here, and mate. Fun stuff. Give me white here 10 days out of 10. Just absolutely wild stuff with the king just like roaming around the board. Like absolutely wild. I mean, you can't get it back to a safe haven, so it's just like such wild concrete lines. Is basically what's going on here. So king e5, but we do... No, I played queen c4 here, which is wrong. I had forced mate, which was check here, check, king e3 forced, and then actually a nice path to a very pretty mate here with the pawn controlling the last couple squares. Or here, and rook e1. We could get the king all the way to e2. That would have been cool. Instead I played queen c4, which threatens f4 mate, and black had a couple ways out of it, such as like here to give a route this way. Although, you know, that still doesn't look great because queen d4 check wins the rook at minimum, but I don't know what's happening. Anyway, they play queen c5, which is a reasonable try to trade queen, but then we caught him with f4. So we set up a nice little checkmate. We set up our little mating net, finally 3 pieces down in the middle of the board. Just wild game. Wild game.
William Wgraif, the gambit man, takes his seat at the board. e4, e5, knight f3, bishop c5. The Bushcast gambit on the board. On with the gambit classes. Hero pawn unlocked.